I think we're finally working. Wow. What a pain. Let me hear. Yeah. Okay, I think we're finally working. I'm sorry this has been such a nightmare. What a pain. Let me hear. Okay, I think we're finally working. I'm sorry this has been such a nightmare. Okay, so I'm gonna jump into it here. Can you guys hear me okay? All right, so let me check this out. I hope you guys can hear me okay, because I got the mic over here and I got some of my notes over here. So I'm gonna try to get this right, okay? All right, so guys, this has been like a crazy week for me. I just want to sort of bring you up to speed. So I went down to Moore's Cancer Center and I got a PET CT scan and blood work done, and all this stuff is always like totally nerve-wracking and makes you nuts. If you've ever had cancer or some kind of like disease that you're always worried about coming back or something like that, it makes you nuts. But anyway, I'm good. Everything's good. I'm very excited to have that good news. Next week I'm actually going down there again, but it's for video, and I'm going to be involved in a couple of projects in the next 4 to 6 weeks about helping spread cancer awareness, stuff to look for, and also the Head and Neck Cancer Alliance is doing a thing where you can go to participating doctors and dentist office and get screened, which is going to be really awesome. And I'm going to have more information about that, and it's like called the Open Up and Say All project. And so I can't wait to launch that. That'll be really cool. But after that, I'm going to chill on that stuff for a while, because I don't want, like, if anybody, knows what it's like to have had cancer, it's like you don't want it to define you. So the longer you stay in talking about it, sometimes it's just like, oh God, I just want to kind of leave that behind. So I'm going to be leaving that behind for a while. I'm going to do my due diligence and try to get the word out there, the word about getting early screening, and also about immunotherapy, which is what really worked for me. I'm going to get all that taken care of, and the information will be out there. I'm going to do videos and do a bunch of stuff, a bunch of interviews, several different interviews, and hopefully we can help some people. And then I'm just going to let that sit for a while, and I'm going to enjoy my summer and keep delivering really great content and creative stuff for you guys. So that's what I want to do, and I got some cool stuff in mind, by the way. So I'm going to jump into these questions here. What I did was I went on my Facebook page and I had people ask me a bunch of questions, and so I picked ones. Everybody was really pretty cool. People weren't asking me like really nasty stuff or anything like that. There was a couple little things, but nothing much, man. Everybody was pretty darn cool. So this first one, this guy looks like he wrote it in Russian, his name, but he's not. He's from Greece. His name is Panos. I hope I'm saying that right. And he said, I am a Poison fan for decades, but unfortunately I've never had the chance to see you guys live. I would like to ask if there is a chance for a European tour in the near future. Thank you very much for the music, and here's something for you, my Poison tattoo, and sent a picture, which is just awesome. Yes, there is a chance that Poison will do a European tour. We are talking about touring next year. We're putting together some ideas for that now. We don't have a European tour on the books, but a couple, like last year we really considered it, and then it just kind of fell apart. The timing wasn't right, and just a few things didn't make sense. I mean, really, the reason that we don't play somewhere is really about being upside down money-wise. It costs a lot of money to get all your stuff to another country. Sure, we could go over there and use a bunch of rented gear and just kind of do it half-assed, but if we're coming and we haven't been there for a long time, I mean, we really need to bring it, and we're not going to come over there and just give you guys a lazy show. Like, it needs to be poison. It needs to be like on top of the game. Just like when Kiss comes over. I mean, what if Kiss came over and had rented stuff and just like kind of just winged it? It might be kind of cool in one respect, but you want the show, you know. We want to give you a show. So hopefully that will work out. I'm definitely pushing for that. I love touring all over the world. It's so much fun. So hopefully that'll work out. And then Ken Bass, my friend Ken Bass, goes, "Can I have the drum company?" I love the drum company. I love you, Ken. I love my drum company too. As you guys know, I let it go because I went through that cancer crap, but I am on the other side of it, and people have been asking me to start that company up again. It's a lot of work. I have been talking to somebody about a reality show for it. That could be very interesting. Maybe it would be on YouTube Originals or something. Who knows where it might go. I'm getting an echo over here. I'm going to turn this down. So there's a possibility for that. So who knows? All right. So Sherry Costande, am I saying this right? "I'm most impressed with how rock stars and crew handle the road life. Can you tell us about it?" Man, can I tell you about it? I could talk about that for hours. I will write a book one day. Yeah, man, that's kind of crazy. I think we adapt to it. I mean, look, you either adapt or you go home. I mean, quite literally. There's this old joke, and I'm going to have a lot of road crew mad at me for saying it. What's the difference between a roadie and a homeless guy? A laminate. I love our road crew. I love the road life. Honestly, I do. And you are kind of homeless. I mean, and everything is in suspended animation when you're out there. You're in suspended animation. The rest of the world moves on, but you don't. And it's so weird. You come back and there's houses that are built. Businesses have come and gone. People have got new cars. I mean, people have had kids that have grown up. And I mean, it's just crazy. You come and you feel like you haven't changed. Now, you've moved on too to some degree, but there's a feeling of suspended animation. It's very, very weird. It's crazy. What is one of your, okay, this is Brian Fatler. What is your favorite place to look forward to when eating on the road, and what's the food? You know, I gotta tell you, I love pizza, so I'm an East Coast guy, so I love East Coast pizza, but there is a place in my heart for Chicago pizza too, you guys, and so I look forward to that too. And I mean, I just got to tell you, that is my cheater food. That is my bad food. I love it. But I'm vegetarian, so it's the only time I have cheese is if I have pizza. The rest of the time I don't. And so I look forward to a lot of vegetarian restaurants on the road. There's amazing ones in all the major cities, and some smaller college towns have really great ones too. Why did you choose Rockett? This comes from Mila Eden DiMaggio. Why did you choose Rockett as a surname? Well, Rockett was and I've answered this in interviews, but Rockett was actually a nickname. I worked at a salon where I would clean the floors, wash everything, book appointments, take jackets for people, make everybody comfortable, you know, and run errands. And that's what I did at a salon for the first like 2 years that I was in that business. And basically all I did was just cater to people, and it was a great learning experience because I learned how to deal with people. I was only, you know, I was a pretty young guy. I was like 16, 17 years old. And I was so fast about getting everything together, they just called me the Rocket Man, and it just kind of stuck. So Rikki Rockett sounded cooler than Rick Ream. And by the way, guys, I've never been Dick, okay? So people have called me a dick, but I've never been Dick, all right? I never went with that one. Ricky and Rick I've been throughout my life, but anyway, so that's how I got that. Let me see, what else? I'm just banging these out here. There's some stuff coming up on the board. I'm going to read that too. So slow down. Rikki, this comes from Terry Wright. Rikki, if you never ended up with Poison, where do you think you would have gone musically and personally? I don't know. I probably would have continued to cut hair because it was decent money, but I would have continued to play. I may have gone to one of the larger cities. Maybe I would have wound up out here anyway, on the West Coast. I don't know. You know, I had friends in other bands that, you know, left those bands and they were looking for people. Maybe I would have wound up with them. It's really, really hard to say. I don't know. My stock answer is if I wasn't doing this for a living, what would I be doing? Dreaming about it. Somebody said Todd Schwartz, or David Todd Schwartz said, I don't have any questions, just think it's awesome and you make yourself accessible. Thank you. I try. I do my best. Sometimes it backfires on me and people get really mad because I just talk. And I just say things, and then sometimes people go like, oh, I can't believe you said that, and they get mad at me. Anyway, let me see. Kenny Oz says, is there any way that Poison will ever do a full album in its entirety on tour or really dig into the deep cuts? That would be cool. This is the thing that I would love to see. I would love for Poison to do a residency, and we could do it over time and just do all of Look What the Cat Dragged In, all of Open Up and Say all of Flesh and Blood, just top to bottom. Do the whole record like that. I think that'd be totally cool. I'd love to do that. I don't know if we'll ever do it. I think it'd be cool. Jackie Cole, you know what? I love this question because I read it earlier. Life Loves a Tragedy is my favorite Poison song. Has it? Or will Poison ever play it live? I know that's important to play the hits because the average fan doesn't know much about the deep tracks, but I'd much rather hear this awesome Poison original as to hear Poison's version of Kiss's Rock and Roll All Night. I agree. I think Life Loves a Tragedy is literally my favorite Poison song. So that's why I love your question. I love that song. I love the drum track that I played on it. I wouldn't do anything different. I don't know why we don't play it live. It's just, you know, you have so much time, and we've tried all sorts of different formulations, where to position the songs. I mean, you can't just throw songs together because then it doesn't, it'll lose energy maybe. Like if you put too many ballads together, it loses energy. If you put too much energy, people kind of get tired, and it's like they need a break. We need a break. Everybody kind of needs a break. And you know, it's tough, man. You know, people do want the hits. If you miss a hit, you really hear it. I mean, sometimes I think I hear it if we don't do one of the hits and put something else in. We really hear it if we do not put it in. I mean, that's where, and sometimes the promoters want it and be like, man, you guys got to do all your stuff, man. This is, so it makes it kind of hard. I would love to do a B-sides tour where that's all we do. I don't know if we'll ever do that. Maybe I'll just take a bunch of guys out and do a B-sides tour. Would that be cool or would that be cheesy? I don't know. It'd be fun just so I could play those songs again. But all right, what else here? Christy Williamson Sims, what is your relationship with the other members of Poison? Do you guys get along? I had a crew member tell me in Jacksonville last year, the night before the last show, you guys were about to kill each other. I literally cried just thinking it would be the last time I'd ever see y'all. No, that's not true. Sorry. At no point in time on last year's tour were we about to kill each other. That's simply not true. There were a couple disagreements, but never loud, never in front of anybody, and they weren't bad. So my relationship with the other guys in Poison is if I texted somebody in Poison, most likely they'd text me right back and go, hey, what's up? So we have a good relationship. Do we hang out? Well, no, is the answer. We don't really. When we're on tour, we do a little more. And we'll do certain things. Sometimes I'll play a little ball with Brad or something like that. Or, you know, I mean, we have a good relationship at this point in time. We are like brothers. In fact, we're worse than brothers. And you don't want to always hang out with your brother usually. It depends. It depends on how dysfunctional you are. We are absolutely a dysfunctional family, but I get along with these guys. Honestly, I do. Okay, Jack Brandt. Let's see what else. Okay, somebody's asking me about jiu-jitsu. Oh God, how does Todd Buckenroth? Todd Buckenroth? When did you start studying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and did you find it difficult to train while touring with Poison, and did you train while battling cancer? Okay, cool question. I found Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu about the time that Royce Gracie won UFC 3, probably. And I wanted to know why a 185-pound guy was beating people that were 250 pounds and everybody in between. And I didn't understand it. I didn't understand what I was seeing, like a lot of other people didn't. They were like, what is going on here? A guy's coming out, doesn't look that imposing, doesn't look particularly tough, and he's taking everybody out. Like, how does that happen? You got, Chemo and all these guys coming out and just looking like they're going to destroy, and then Royce Gracie was taking people out. I wanted to know about that. And then I had met the Machado brothers, and they said, you got to just come train with us. So I did. I went over, I thought I'd do really well, met Eddie Bravo, a bunch of different guys, and I just got my ass kicked like 12, 14, 16 times in a row, tapped out. I went home with my head between my legs, and the next morning I went in there and I signed up. And I've been ever since. So I was like, I don't know, at least 18 years ago. It is hard to train on the road. It's hard to train on the road because I have to be so careful about my partners. If I train with the wrong person, I get hurt, I'm going home. And if I go home, promoters don't like that. They want the original lineup, fans want the original lineup. I'm risking people's livelihood, so I'm very careful about that when I'm on the road. I'm very careful a month out from going on the road. I don't want to get an injury that's going to prevent me from going out on the road. So I got to be careful about all that stuff. So yeah, I could not train during, sorry, it's windy out there. I could not train while I was going through treatment, through standard of care, because the drug that I was on, you can get skin infections from the mat, and if you do, it's really hard to get rid of them. It can be a serious, serious problem, and your immune system's compromised to begin with. I think once I got on immunotherapy, I think I did a little bit more. I think once I was like 90% clear, I started to, which was after 9 weeks, by the way. And then, but I worked out. I went to a trainer. His name was Vish. And he would just walk me around the gym. Let me try this in English. He would just walk me around the gym if I was that out of it. I mean, he would just make sure I did something that day, but I always did more than that. And that really helped me. So if anybody's going through that treatment, any kind of treatment, get out there and just do what you do. It's so, so important, really. It makes you feel more alive, and just treat yourself good. So yeah, but the minute I was cleared, I went back. I asked one of my doctors this time when I was down, hey, can I compete? And the answer was yes. Will I compete? Maybe. Maybe we'll see. I haven't competed in several years. That might be kind of cool. Anyway, enough of that. Somebody else asked me about Poison coming to the UK. That's that whole European thing. So, Mike Cooksey said, is Poison looking into any new songs or albums in the near future? Yes, we have been talking about doing some new music. I don't know that it would be a full-length album, because albums really, it's not like you pick up an album and you go, hey, I gotta have 12 songs on here. That's not really how the music industry works these days. It's almost like back to the 50s where people were doing singles. So, will we do a few songs at once or just one? I don't know. But we have talked about doing something. We haven't made any concrete decisions what we're gonna do about it. But I think you will see something. I'm pretty excited about that. Let me see what else. Okay, so Jerry Perry said, when you guys first made the move, how was the transition from small town Pennsylvania to the Sunset Strip? It was crazy. I mean, yeah, it was culture shock. I'm gonna get a sip. Hold on a second. Yeah, really weird. You know, I mean, I had been to New York many times and Philly and all these places, so it wasn't like I was like, like this corn-fed kid, like in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, LA had a different vibe to it, without a doubt. The thing that took me the most was how much rock and roll was here. There was just so much rock and roll. Everybody was like dressing rock and roll and all that kind of stuff. And back east, it was still, at that time, there was some rock, mainly in Maryland. Thank God for bands like Kicks and stuff like that. But for the most part, it was new wave and stuff like that back there. And out here, it was, people were following Motley Crue and Rat and all those bands, and people were loving heavy metal. They were loving Quiet Riot and stuff like that. So, it was culture shock. It was like really refreshing to like see rock girls and stuff like that instead of, hair that was pulled up like this and looked like they were going to fly away, All right, we did that. Somebody asked me again about, Joel Campbell asked me about resurrecting Rocket Drum Works. He's like bummed that he never bought a kit. I do have a couple of kits that I might put up for sale, but like I said, there's a possibility that something could happen down the road with Rocket Drum Works. I'm at a drum workshop in Dorsey. I've been using their hardware for 26 years or something like that. I've used their drums like throughout my career at different times. I'm good friends with John Good over there and Garrison, and I just think the world of what they make. But I was making custom drums just because I got to customize everything. I'm just like kind of crazy like that. But the support I get from them, it makes it hard to really want to jump back into the game. And it's a lot of work to jump into the game, but it could be fun. We'll see, It's sort of about my crew, and a lot of it has to do with the people that I work with and if they're available. All right, so what else have we got? Okay, I think that's the questions that I pulled off of there. There's quite a few of them here. So let me check here and see. Hi down here. Oh, it's people asking me. Philly, the Empire Rock Room was fun. Let me see. What would you like to add to this set list? Okay. All right, we kind of talked about what I'd like to add to the set list. Okay, somebody asked me for my love for cameras. My love for cameras began seriously when I was like, God, I was probably 14 years old. I had a Bell & Howell 8mm film camera, movie camera, and I bought a rough box I went to a funeral home, and I said, please just give me something that looks like a coffin, and I wanted to make a Dracula movie. And I had a hamster, but I wanted a rat because it would look better. I wanted to like come up to the coffin. I gotta find this footage, man, it's hilarious. And take the rat off of the coffin and open it up, and then Dracula is inside of there, right? And I had my best friend Lee Kramer lay in there. Maybe Lee's watching right now. It was really funny. But he was, white and brown, the hamster. So I got that hair color spray and sprayed him black. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing, it was kind of mean. But I didn't mean to be mean. I'm not mean to animals. Anybody that knows me knows I'm not. But and then it got black all over my hands and everything like that. But I had spray painted the coffin, this wood box black. And so that was the first like movie thing that I ever did, and I was literally like 14 years old, something like that. And then just throughout my life, my uncle was super into it. My uncle was in the Army Air Corps. He did 148 missions over enemy territory, and he was a reconnaissance photographer, and then they sent him to learn film so that he could film it. And many of those shorts that they would show in between movies at that period in time were shot by him. There was only a handful of guys that did those films, and he was one of them. So I used to go to, he opened a movie theater when he got out of the war, out of the service rather, and I used to go to his theater and watch all that stuff, and he'd show me all his cameras and everything like that. So it's a wonder I didn't go that way in life, but I'm kind of getting to do it now. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I'm getting really serious about having more content for my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is important to me because I feel like it's not like just posting on Facebook or just posting on Instagram. I feel like it's more of a community, and that's what I want to build, is like this really cool community that we can like share all this really cool stuff. And that's why I really love YouTube. I love YouTube also because, you know, somebody that's 15 years old that's got a good voice and can play a guitar can turn on their phone and broadcast themselves playing, and the world gets to hear it, instead of going through all these crazy channels to try to get somebody to hear their stuff. It puts people on a more level playing field. You just got to be open to it. You got to have your ear to the ground, and you got to look for that stuff. It's really pretty cool. So let me see here. I'm gonna probably go ahead and shut this down in just a sec. I just want to tell you what I have coming up. Like I said, next week I'm going to do a video, so whether I'll be able to do another full YouTube video next week or not, I don't know. I think so. But if not, I'll do another live stream and we can talk about more stuff. I'll put more questions up, or maybe I need somebody to help me to do the live time stuff. It's just too fast for me to do it in real time. I'm a one-man show. I'm sitting here all by myself. I did this lighting, I did the camera, which so sorry that it took 10 minutes. I think it was 3:09 by the time we got this going. Sorry about that, but we're moving now. So anyway, so we're good. Thank you for coming here and checking it out. It's really fun to do this kind of stuff. I like doing other types of videos that I can edit and drive all over the place and do things, but I think this has a place too. Let me know if you like this in the comments, because if you like this, I can do it more. But anyway, you know my whole slogan, which is take care of each other and keep rock alive. I'll see you guys soon.